Hey, it's Brian at the Logue Group here in Ocean City, and this month I want to talk to you about what we're anticipating in the 2023 housing market specific to Ocean City and the neighboring communities. But before I do that, I think it's key to look back at 2022 now that it's fully in the rear view and see what those numbers were versus what we expected them to be. So before I talk about any of that, I want to touch on something that I feel is pretty important. There is a significant disconnect right now between what is actually happening in the market and what you hear is happening in the market. Specifically, the news media, social media, a lot of the publications out there are sensationalizing the situation because we all know bad news sells papers. But the real numbers are actually much more positive than they would leave you to believe. So looking back at 2022, I think it's important to note that some of the predictions we made, we were kind of spot on, but others we missed the mark a bit. In terms of number of units being sold, we expected a significant reduction there, and we were right. It was a 67% reduction of number of properties being sold, but we expected modest price gains, 12, maybe 14%. The number was actually 17%. Median sale price in Ocean City for 22 was $879,000 versus $749,000 the year before. So we under-guessed that. Those numbers appreciated more than we expected, and that was really led in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter numbers were even stronger. Now, if we look back and normalize things back to 2019, the last year pre-COVID, number of units sold in 2019, 1,031, again, versus 791. Big reduction still. So things are tough in terms of inventory. It's an inventory-driven situation. Prices are holding strong. And the properties that are out there right now, the desirable ones, are still getting snatched up. So what do we expect here in 2023? So as you know, interest rates have dominated the conversation for a lot of news outlets and, of course, for a lot of buyers over the past 6 to 8 months. And the positive is they've improved. They've improved significantly. At the peak, we were north of 7% for conforming loans less than $750,000, and sometimes well north of 7%. Now we're looking at numbers around 6, maybe a little over, a little below 6. And all the predictions from the experts take that rate down another 0.5 to 1% before the end of the year. So again, we expect prices to appreciate in 2023 at a modest rate, single digits. We do expect it's going to be a better environment for buyers to operate in with normal inspections, normal buying process, not as many bidding wars, although they do still happen. And you hopefully are going to have more properties to choose from. That hasn't really been the case yet, but we're hoping that more inventory does come on based on some of the conversations we're having. Now for sellers, a couple of unique opportunities. First off, many who bought during COVID ended up settling, buying a property that didn't exactly meet their criteria on the property itself or its location, simply because it was what was available and it was the deal that they won after going after multiple properties. A lot of market fatigue, if you will. Well, those owners now have the opportunity to trade out of that property into something that more appropriately fits their needs and do so in a more normal fashion. Furthermore, I do have a number of clients who bought and have fully enjoyed their property based on the remote work scenario, and now a lot of companies have begun to rein that back in, and as a result they're not using the property as much as they'd hoped to, or they're not going to use it as much this summer as much as they'd hoped. For them, you have two choices. You can, of course, rent the property if you like, and rentals are very, very strong right now, or again, depending on when you bought, you probably have a pretty significant amount of equity in the property. Great market to still cash out of that and put that money to work in whatever other environment you might like. Of course, every situation is unique, so reach out. Let's have a conversation about what you're trying to accomplish and see how we can help. A couple of key things I want to mention to you. We've got some really, really big, and I mean big news coming in the next several weeks here, so be on the lookout for that. And also, for 2023, we're rolling out a better, revamped, revised YouTube channel, and I've really committed to putting a lot of great content out there to answer some of the most common questions we get about the market and to assist our buyers and sellers in finding the property they need and fully understanding the market. In closing, I just want to say that if you know of anyone who would benefit from our expertise buying or selling here in the shore market, please reach out, let us know. We'd love to take care of them for you. Thanks all. Have a great January. Go Birds. Talk soon.